Record. All right. And right. So let's go back to where we stopped. So let me then open up another file here, go to the chat and go to here and look at here at this file and creating the budget 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6. So open that up. And so please open up that file. And let me go ahead and open it up from my computer. And US government, and we go here, and 5 and 6. And okay, so close that. And then of course it's all funky, so I gotta make it straighten out. So like that. All right, so let me make this bigger. And then we share the screen, and let's divide up into 2 groups, and we will just do the let's just do this crossword puzzle. And so group 1 will do across, and group 2 will do down on this crossword puzzle, okay? And so let me divide you into 2 groups and go here, stop share, go to breakout rooms, assign automatically, and the person in the bottom, no, the person in the middle of the group listing, the middle person will be the one that speaks for the group. So create, and that is Chung Dujina Micah Belinsky. All right, Chung Dujina Micah Belinsky. Well, I guess since there's only 2 people in room 2, so let's just say Chung Dujina Micah Belinsky. Micah, that's your chance to speak. And so again, room 1 we'll do the across, so 4, 5, 6, and this is a crossword puzzle. 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10, 12, and 13. And group 2 will do down, the down parts of the crossword puzzle. So, Chung Dujin will speak for room 1, and Micah Belinsky will speak for room 2. And so please help Micah and help Chung Dujin complete this exercise. And let me go back to the breakout rooms, open all the rooms. So, okay, Anais, Chung Dujin, Kirill join room 1, and Micah and Kim Pyong-ku join room 2. Chung Dujin, Micah, where are you? Okay, Micah. Okay, and so close all the rooms. You have 60 seconds to prepare. Okay, so 20 seconds. And who will speak first? Room 1 or room 2? And the coin, heads is room 1. And it's heads, so Chung Dujin for.
Yes.
Okay, so what goes in 4 here?
It is sign.
Yes, sign. 5, a branch of Congress. What goes here?
It's legislative, I guess.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters.
Oh.
I would say house, but I'm not sure.
What?
I would say house, maybe.
No. Because that's not the full title, but that's a good that's a good selection because that's also 5 letters. I think that
Yeah.
what they mean is Senate, S-E-N-A-T. No, you're right, it's house. I'm wrong.
The letters, and then the next word should be February, so it should work.
Okay, 8, money set aside for a specific purpose. What goes here? Chungdujin?
Yes, it is budget.
Huh?
Budget.
No, and this is, look
Oh,
how many
no?
letters it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anais, what do you think? 7, 8, 9, 10? Long word. Begins with an A. Anybody? Kirill?
I'm thinking. Not sure.
A-P-R-O-P-R-I-T-I-O-N, appropriations. Okay, 9. What the president will do if he disapproves of a bill. Chung Doo-jin?
Yes. He will veto.
Veto, yes. The number of appropriations subcommittees in each branch of Congress. What goes here? How many? A number. How many apostles are there? Since this is East Gang.
It's 12.
Yes, 12.
Yes.
All right, 12. 12. The month that the official budget process should end.
Is it October?
Okay, all right. 13. A plan for receiving and spending money.
It is budget.
Budget, yes, budget,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I mean, the Congress people that serve on these committees, particularly the appropriations committees, obviously you can see that the appropriation committees are very, very important and very, very powerful. So if you develop a career in the Congress and you gain seniority because you've been elected and reelected 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, you will get seniority and you will probably seek to become more and more important by becoming a chairperson of a subcommittee or of the committee itself. Now, of course, if your party does not control a majority of the seats in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, you can't become the chairperson of the subcommittee or the committee, the appropriations committee or the subcommittee or the agricultural committee or the finance committee, but you're called the ranking minority member. But the party that controls a majority of the seats in the House of Representatives and the Senate, they control the agenda of all of these committees. So if you're in a minority party, you don't set the agenda. You can argue and make a public scene and make speeches, but you don't set the agenda for the work of the committee. And for some people, this is very frustrating. They will quit or resign from Congress because they know their party is going to lose the next election. So they decide not to run for re-election because they know they're going to be in a minority. Aside from having to run a re-election campaign and do all of that work, if they're going to be in the minority, they know that they're not going to have a tremendous amount of influence over, or significant amount of influence over the content of the laws, of the budget. And so something like 40 Democratic Congress people, members of Congress, have announced, almost 40 have announced so far today that they're not running for re-election because they expect, a big reason is they expect that the Republicans are going to take control of the House of Representatives after the November election. And they don't want to be there if they're not influencing the work of the committees very much. They've been there a long time, they're old, they're tired, just to wait for the next time your party becomes the majority is not acceptable to them. So it's close to, that tells you the Democratic leadership expects that in November, it's going to be very bad for Joe Biden and the Democrats. They might take both control of both houses of Congress. Now, maybe something will happen in Ukraine and there'll be the rally around the flag effect, or maybe the Supreme Court will rule in 2 months that abortion can be made illegal in the American states. And many women will vote against the Republican Party because they blame Donald Trump and the Republican Party for putting on those Republican members of the Supreme Court on the Supreme Court when Donald Trump was president. Maybe. But these congressmen that are resigning or announcing they're not running for re-election, they don't expect that to happen in terms of changing the outcome of the election. Okay, room 2. And that is, who's speaking for room 2? That is Micah. Okay, Micah, 1 down. Where's 1? The person who proposes a budget and signs or vetoes the final budget.
That's the president.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
The president.
President, yay, president. 2, the budget plan developed by Congress. There is 2 down. So what goes here, Micah?
Resolution.
Resolution, all right. 3, the month the official budget process begins. And 3
February.
down. Right here.
February.
February, all right. 6, this type of committee occurs when the House and Senate meet together to write a joint resolution. 6 down. What goes here, Micah?
Conference.
Conference, all right. Can you see that? I don't know if I'm sharing the screen here. Okay. And 7, this body of people is made up of the House and the Senate. What goes here, Micah?
Congress.
Congress, all right. 11, a branch of Congress. What goes here?
Senate.
Senate, all right. Senate, that's where Senate goes. All right, well done, well done. So let's see, what else is there in terms of this exercise in the few minutes we have remaining? I think there's just the answers, so I'll send you the answers. And so go to the chat and go here to, so you can find this here and like this. And see if I can do 2 at once. No, I have to do 1 at a time. Okay. We'll go here, create a budget, open. And so there's one of the set of answers, and the next set of answers goes here. And let me find that here. Okay, there you go. Open, there you go. And then the final exercise here is what about the size of the US budget? And again, this is pre-pandemic, but we can do this as well. And so we go government spending. Let me send you this file as well. Go to, no, not that one. Go to chatting, go to everyone, no, go to here, and we go to government spending. Here you go. So you can open up that file as well. And let's go ahead and open that up. Government spending. And then make it so we can see it. And we go to share screen like this. And we go here. And so you can see this file on government spending, that the budget, the government's budget, mandatory spending. Now, this is from 11 years ago. 56% of the government budget of that almost $6 trillion, over half of that money is mandatory spending that, according to laws already passed 50 years ago, the US government does not choose each year how much to spend. It's called mandatory spending. This is spending particularly in the area of American old age pension system called Social Security, and also in Medicare. So the fighting, most of the fighting, not all of it, but mostly the political struggle in US Congress happens over this remaining portion of the budget, and this includes the military. This is so-called discretionary spending. So mandatory spending is something that you have to do. So the US Congress already decided that it must spend a certain amount of money every year on Social Security, old age pension, not only for old age, but mostly for retired people, and also the old age medical care system. This is called mandatory spending that is required by law. There's no choice about this spending because lawmakers in the past have said it must happen. It would take a new law to change it. And there's discussion about changing it, but it's very controversial. I don't want somebody to change my pension retirement plan. This is a big issue in Europe, right? Trying to raise the retirement age in France, raise the retirement age in these different countries is highly controversial. And Emmanuel Macron is paying a price for discussing it in France. But it's more difficult than changing this discretionary spending. Programs that get mandatory spending includes things like Social Security and Medicare for older Americans and assistance for low-income families, the disabled, and military veterans. Discretionary spending is the opposite of mandatory. When something is at your discretion, that means it is your choice. Discretionary spending is spending that Congress decides on each year. This includes military, space, aid programs, and so on. Some of the things that receive discretionary spending might surprise you. The entire national defense budget is funded through discretionary spending. The list also includes things like air traffic control, nuclear energy, the federal justice system, and national parks. And they keep adding more and more every year, more and more money to the Defense Department budget, even though the US Defense Department budget is bigger than the next 11 countries combined. China, Russia, Germany, Japan, France. You add them all up, and the US budget, military budget, is over a third of the total military expenditures on the entire planet Earth. So cutting this discretionary budget is very difficult. There can be lots of arguments against cutting it, but certainly arguments and political reasons not to reduce defense spending include the fact that, according to one estimate, at least 10% of the US manufacturing economy serves the defense budget. It supplies the military, ships, tanks, planes, and so on. We just did an exercise in the budgeting process. Every year, the president and the Congress go through a process of deciding what next year's budget should be. Government debt, we already set up that at the height of the pandemic, the government budget deficit was almost, I think, around $1 trillion. It's now down to several $100 billion, I think, for this year, but it's still quite high by, of course, American standards. I mean, I think Greece, at the height of its budget crisis, when its sovereign debt crisis that began 14 years ago, its budget deficit was up to 260% of gross national product. So the total debt accumulated by Greece by spending more money than it was receiving had accumulated to the point that the total public debt of Greece was something like 260% of its gross national, so 2.5 times the size of the Greek economy. I think Japan is 160%. US is now up to 100%. It's the first time since World War II it's been that high. It's about priorities and the economy and so on. So we have to stop there and finish up because I think there's another class coming in here. So does anybody have any questions? If not, I will see you on Wednesday, and then we'll start meeting in my office on Wednesday or on Zoom, whatever you choose, okay? So please sign up for a conference session if you haven't yet already. Bye.